What's up, gang? Hope you're doing well. This is Marcus Hodges. Go like, go subscribe. The ultimate guide to improving your shooting range. 5 simple steps. I'm assuming there's going to be some other very similar things to what we talked about in our previous video, so we'll have a look.
Hodges here with Separation Team Training, and today I want to talk about really how can I improve on my range. And I say it like that because when I go to games, when I train people, a lot of my younger players will start shooting the three from the very beginning. So I first want to say, you want to start close. We see Steph Curry right now, we see the incredible shots, we see his range, we see his accuracy, and we think it starts from the three-point line. Well, that's where we're mistaken. It actually starts close. So I actually want to help you improve your range so you can shoot like Steph Curry, but there is a process. So more importantly, let's not be like Steph Curry, let's copy his process to get that range and then become our own players. So today, 5 different ways to help improve your range so you can shoot deep like Steph Curry at some point later in the future. Something you don't want to miss. You already know, man. Let's get it. Marcus Hodges range. Something light. So that's the range we're all looking for. I'm going to give you the process to do it. First are going to be free throw shots. So I want to imagine I'm at the.
I mean, this is just form shooting, and so isn't it interesting? Again, this is why I have a problem with the skills industry. Isn't it interesting that these two, so By Any Means Basketball, Marcus Hodges, they've got hundreds of thousands of followers. They got a lot of people that watch them, a lot of young kids that watch them. And both of them have just given contradicting, just within the first tip, very contradicting advice. And this is why so many kids are confused. But he's saying you want to start with free throw shots. And also with the Steph Curry example, he was saying we actually want to start close. Now, Steph Curry did say that his dad would not let him shoot threes until he was able to shoot inside the three. But that's when Steph Curry was really young. His dad was also a former NBA player. Like, his dad understood the process and was going to help his son get to the process. But I'm sure Steph Curry still shot threes, right? I'm sure he still was shooting threes at some point, but probably on his own and when he was having fun. But when he was training, when he was trying to improve, it was probably that his max distance where he could shoot a normal shot. Now we're going into this, like, you're probably not Steph Curry. Like, you don't have a former NBA dad, and you're not a very, very young, you're probably not an 8-year-old, 7-year-old kid that needs to work on improve. Everyone's in such a different spot. So for Marcus to just assume like you're in the same position Steph Curry was, or for like the By Any Means Basketball example, to say like, oh, this drill will work, or this probably won't work. That's the disconnect I have with the skills industry, is like, shooting is just such an individual journey. You need to look at your own shot. You need to understand where you're messing up. And if you can't figure it out, you need someone around you that can help you and give you some pointers and some advice. But if you can learn how to learn on your own, that's the best situation to be in, because you can use that for anything.
Free throw line, and I'm shooting, but instead of actually shooting a free throw shot, I want to start close. So these are my no jump.
Yeah, this is just form shooting.
Shots here. I'm working on simply my flow right now, but my power can't come off the ground. My power has to stay on the floor. And with doing this, I want to see where my range actually is. So as I'm going, remember, your feet can't leave the ground.
And it's funny, his shot, even, he's doing the thing where, watch, his power starts going up and then he stops on the way up. Like, so see how he like hop bounces and stops? Yeah, this is like all contradicting to what By Any Means Basketball just talked about. And I wouldn't say either one of them is wrong. Like, this probably does help some players.
I find where my range is with my feet not jumping. So you want to be able to hit 2 in a row, back up, 2 in a row, and keep backing up from here.
But essentially, like, what is he doing? Essentially, he's just shooting. Like, he's just shooting with a constraint, if you want to call it, right? He's just shooting. Just getting shots up. Then you should move around and shoot where you jump. Then you should shoot some fadeaways. Then you should go shoot threes. Then you should go shoot elbow jump shots. Then you should see how many you can make out of 10. Then you could shoot rainbow shots. Like, doing all of those things is going to make you a better shooter. But the main important thing is you're in the gym and you're getting up shots.
But remember, focus on your form here.
And then I don't know. So the funny thing about these videos too, some people will message me and they'll be like, Coach, like, I'm shooting like 5,000 shots a week. Oh no, that's what it was. It was one of the, I'm not going to say the trainer, but they were like, if you're getting up 5,000 shots a week and you still aren't a good shooter, here's what you need to do. And I'm like, what? Who's shooting 5,000 shots a week and they're not a good shooter? Like, I just don't think there's that many players out there that are shooting 5,000 shots and aren't a good shooter. More often than not, what you need to shoot better is to shoot more.
Feet can't leave the ground. And you can find what mistakes you're.
Now, what type of shooting drill do you do? I don't care. Go shoot. Once you get to a point where you're shooting enough, then you've probably learned enough about your shot to where you can actually start applying some of these things people are saying.
Making
some coaches, what some coaches can tell you.
And why you're missing.
Dev has an old video with Austin Mills, how to increase range. I need to watch that.
Trying to find out where your range is right now. Feel where your power's coming from. It's like shooting a free throw. Good pass. Get in there, can't miss twice. Wherever you miss twice, that's where your range is gonna be. Now we're at a high school three-point line. Good pass, college, WNBA line. There it is, we got the NBA line now. Great pass. Find it where your range.
Look at the spin, like now look at the spin on his shot. Like no offense, like some people do shoot with a spin. But look, he's got his fingers on the laces, and now watch the spin, which means he probably thumbed the ball. Yeah, look at the spin on his shot. Like he thumbs it, right? So again, like, and I'm not a perfect shooter either. I'm just saying, like, most kids are out there learning from imperfect shooters themselves. If these drills and all this stuff worked, why did none of these guys make the NBA? Same from me. Like I didn't make the NBA. I'm not the best shooter in the world. But the one thing I did do that helps me get to where I was at, yeah, I shot the ball a lot. And I really focused on my craft. And that was the most important thing I did was I put the time in, right? There was no secret drill. There was no secret thing. And I still wasn't good. Like I still wasn't, and not saying I wasn't good at all, but you know what I mean? Like you're learning from imperfect people that we also still haven't cracked the code. So most important thing, just go shoot the ball.
Your range is one more time. Here it is. Is my range NBA? Or am I that Steph Curry range?
That's a good question, Swift. How many shots up do you think a day or a week? Swift, if I wanted to ace a test, how many times should you study? How many times should you study for a test? How many hours? There's not a number. There's not a and that's the thing. Like people think there's a number that, like, if I do this number, I will be good. But unfortunately, some kids aren't good shooters. They're not coordinated. They're not in shape. They probably need to shoot more because they got a lot of catching up to do. So you might need to shoot 2,000 shots, which is around 400 shots a day. You probably need to shoot around 400 shots a day or shoot around 2,000 shots a week if you want to become a really good shooter. But some people need to shoot 10,000 shots. You know, some people are just naturally good shooters and they have really good aim. Maybe you can get away with 200 shots a week. You know, it just really depends on the person.
Oh yeah.
Cram for 6 hours the day before, facts.
And we'll go back one more. These shots get hard right here. You really have to focus on that push, that snap. Oh yeah, white line, volleyball line here. Putting Danielle to work. Can't jump. And that right there.
So I will be honest, I did this sometimes when I was playing horse. Like the way that I would get these types of drills in, the CLA type of shooting, right? Do some hooks, do some weird, crazy shots. I would get most of this in by playing horse. I would just be playing trick shots with my friends. I never spent, if I had a rebounder, I was never spending my time doing these types of drills. That's when I was getting up my volume shots because I can cram in as many volume shots as possible. If you're by yourself, that's when you can work on more. I would work on more attacking the basket or more stuff with like the dribbles and all that. I just don't think there's much time that most kids have to spend on these types of shots.
That's probably honestly where my range is going to be. Once you find that range,
but I will say, so Swift, you did ask, so I'll give you a real answer too, though, that I think you were looking for. I typically tell people, if you shoot 10 shots from each spot, 10 from the short corner, elbow, free throw, elbow, other short corner. If you shoot 10 shots, that's 50 mid-range. Then do that from the three. That's 50 threes. If you did that every single day, I promise you, you would probably be a very consistent shooter. If you just did that every single day, that's 100 shots a day. That's 500 shots a week if you just do it during the week. That's 700 a week if you do it every day, but not everyone's going to do it every day. If you shoot 100 shots a day, 10 from each spot, you're able to grade like, oh, I usually shoot 4 out of 10. Well, you're a 40% shooter, all right? But let's get that to a 7. By the time you get that up to 6, you get that to 8, something like that, like now you know, like you're a good shooter. But then it's all the other shooting you do in the week, like in playing horse, playing 21, whatever.
Next step is going to be, can you get workouts? When you're doing your workouts, can you shoot from there? Can you work on getting multiple shots from there? That's where your range is. So once you start to become a little bit consistent, then you want to add more range to your shot. Hey, look. If you really rock with these videos, if you like these videos, click the link below. Link below, I have my app. Right now, they get these videos. You want to get shiftier, want to be a better ball handler, right? Want to become a better shooter. Click the app below, download it. You can get in contact with me, and it's live. It's up. This time next year, you're going to be a totally different player. Make sure you download the app. It's something you don't want to miss.
Again, downloading the app is not going to make you a better player. If you're not already in the gym for an hour or 2 hours every day, like the app is not the missing piece you need. And this is no knock on market. This is just in general, right? That's not the missing piece. This is like a self-help gurus do this a lot. Like just buy my book and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, like people don't need to read the book to get better. They need to do the thing. They need to apply the lessons they already know. They need to apply all the stuff they already know.
Let's get it. Once you figure out kind of where your range is and you want to try to improve, now just chair reps. So right now, I'm here.
Again, it's just another form shooting drill.
The ball, notice if that ball falls right down on my wrist, that's going to be like a swish. Power in my flow, right? And being able to snap that wrist. But no.
It's funny. He's doing all the exact opposite things Coleman was talking about, right? He's doing all the exact things. He's saying no legs. I'm not using power or legs in any of my shooting. That's going to make you a better shooter. Coleman saying, hey, we're going to speed up. We're going to power, drive our legs into the ground. That's the most important thing, is that kinetic chain, that kinetic flow, right?
Move my hand, that's a miss. If that ball falls right there, that's a make. So you want to try to get about 50 of these, feeling how smooth that jump shot can be to help improve that range, because you got to be strong enough through the whole game to have long range. The Steph Curry's, the Damian Lillard's. You don't want to be a guy just first half you're able to shoot deep. You want to be able to shoot with that range all through the game. So you got to be able to get that forearm and everything stronger and that motion stronger so you won't get fatigued towards the second half of the game. So
you've been doing volume shots for 2 years now. You're not seeing the results. What results do you want? Like, I don't know what results you want, so I can't really tell you what you're missing. How much time do you recommend someone work on their game per day? It's the same thing I just said before. Like how many hours a day should you study for a test? I don't know, till you get it.
Now part 3, there's going to be chair shots now. We worked on our chair reps. I want to now be able to get my chair reps in. So notice I'm seated. I'm taking my legs all the way out of it. Just as we did in part 2. And I want to work on just clean swishes over that rim. If you have a partner, it can be really easy and you really be able to extend that range. If you're by yourself, obviously the process is going to be a little long.
Again, isn't this interesting? Like how we're watching these two different trainers and they're saying their videos are almost complete opposites. Right? If you haven't seen that, obviously I'll put this video out, but if you haven't seen the By Any Means basketball video, go read that. That's why I have disagreements with trainers, not because I think one is right, one is wrong, or this guy is right. It's more so the way we think about training is like there's a magic number, or there's a magic drill. That is just not the case. It's just not it.
Longer, but we want to stay off that front rim. We want that ball just to swish, barely tap the back of that rim each and every time.
You like the lat workout?
Come back to you. Once again, focusing on my form, focusing on my snap. I really want us to try to get swishes.
That video was copyright struck? Wait, what video was?
When we're this close to the rim right now, where it's literally just dropping in each and every time. So these chair reps, really important.
You were hoping to be at 8 out of 10 pretty quickly, but I'm stuck at 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10. So do you never get 7 out of 10? Do you never get 7 out of 10?
Of adding your range to your jump shot, understanding what mechanics you do well and what you need to work on.
Wait, how did his video get copyright strikes? Wait, so do I not have it now?
The chair is great, but also just exaggerating my stance. So I want to get my feet really, really wide, almost lock out my feet about 90%, lock out my legs, 90%. And I want to get my rep. I want to touch my hip, get to my set point, go back down, and then I want to get into my shot.
Oh, my video's still up? There you go. Hey, look at that. Look at that, boys. We did it. We circumvented the system.
And then being able to get up to, again, with my shot. But it all starts with that exaggerated stance, taking your legs out of it. Talk about your balance. Really deep, and my feet will replace. So now I'm putting that energy to the floor.
So now he's going into kinetic change. This is just, it's going to show you like not
my shot. Replace, hold that follow through.
Yeah, all of this stuff. All right, so this video, along with, like I said, the by any means basketball, it just goes to show that even the experts, right, even the experienced skills trainers, even the people with lots of subscribers, me included, like we don't know how to make you a great shooter. We can give you some drills, we can give you some cues, I can give you some tips and things that may help your situation, but I don't know you. I don't know you. I've never seen you shoot. I can't help you. There's a lot of similarities I see with a lot of players I coach, and that's why I give basic advice: elbow under the ball, strong fingers, know which finger you shoot from. I give those basic things, right? And that seems to work for most people, but anything beyond that, I can't help you with. But I will say, out of every single person I've worked with, literally every single player I've played with, I've played against, every person I've coached, and me included, it's the time that we spend in the gym and the amount of intentional focus we put into improving our shot, which made us better shooters. It's not the drills we did. It's not the, understanding the stats and the science of the kinetic chain, all this extra stuff, right? It's the amount of time we put in, and you go to school on every shot. So when I shoot the ball, I'm focused and I'm locked in. Now, I had Maxwell ask me a question in chat. I was expecting to get 8 out of 10 pretty quickly, and I'm stuck at 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10. You might not be a good shooter. You might just be a bad shooter, and you might not be coordinated enough, and you might have to put in way more time than other people do. That might be the case for you. Maybe you're in a slump. Maybe you're in a slump and you're just not getting 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10 yet. But it's one of those things where it's just like for every single person, everyone's journey is a little bit different. As you grow, you're going to get stronger. So your shot's going to change. Your body biomechanics are going to change. You're going to use a different basketball. The basketball is going to get switched on you at some point, and you're using a Molten, and now you're going to use the Spalding, and you're like, whoa, I actually shoot really well with the Spalding. It's got better grip. So there's so much more that goes into shooting. Don't overthink it. The most important thing you can do is learn how to fall in love with the process of improving. Do drills, do shooting cues, like try to learn a couple things that apply to you, and if they apply, you use them. If they don't apply to you, like move on. But at the end of the day, you don't need to watch another shooting video. You don't need to buy a shooting book. You don't need to buy a shooting program. You don't need to enroll in a shooting class. You just need to be in the gym shooting more. You got it. If you're getting up 2,000 shots a week and you're still a bad shooter, maybe 3,000 shots. Maybe you got to spend more time doing other stuff. But you also need to know basketball is a sport that doesn't require only shooting, right? If you're a bad shooter, maybe you just realize, like, I've put all this time into my shooting. You know what? I'm going to put half of that time into actually building my strength and conditioning because my shots aren't falling. So I need to be an expert at getting to the rim. I need to be an expert at doing this other thing. Start learning what your superpower is then. If you're spending 80% of your time on shooting and you're not getting the result, maybe spend less of your time on that. Put all your time into something else where you're going to see more results. So that's the way I think you should look at pretty much any skill in basketball. Like I said, there's nothing against Marcus Hodges, nothing against, Coleman with By Any Means Basketball. These are just the 2 videos I happen to watch, but it's the skills industry as a whole. It's just not a real, I don't believe it's a real thing. I'm going to keep saying this. I'm going to keep screaming it from the mountaintops. It's just not a real thing. It can help. It's kind of like the icing on the cake or the cherry on top. It can do a little bit. It can help you a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's going to be the amount of work you put in. It's going to be your genetics, and it's going to be your athleticism, like strength and conditioning, that stuff, that's going to determine whether you're a good basketball player or not. So that's my thoughts on that video. And also they're teaching both completely opposite things here. So they don't even agree. So let me know what you guys think. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. Beef. I mean, I do, but isn't it about consistency? How do you mean, Maxwell? What do you mean about consistency? I was just asking, if sometimes you're shooting 7 out of 10, then it's like on those days where you're shooting 7 out of 10, you need to be thinking like, okay, what's working for me right now? I'm going to shoot more shots. I'm going to keep shooting. I'm on fire today. When you have days where you're shooting poorly, like you try to get rid of some of those habits or whatever, you're just trying to constantly move towards being a better shooter. But it's a long process, man. But if you have bad technique, aren't you just reinforcing those bad habits when shooting a lot? If you don't have somebody correcting you, I think you can take some shortcuts if you have a good shooting coach. So like I said, Oscar, that's why I said go to school on every shot. That's why I said intentional focus on your shooting. So if I said just go shoot, that'd be one thing, but it's intentional focus on your shooting. So when I go to the gym today and I'm shooting, I've got some goals, right? Like maybe my goal is to make 100 threes. My intentional focus is to make 100 threes. I go in and make 100. If it takes me 30 minutes, the next day, maybe it's like, I'm going to try to make 100 threes. I'm going to try to do it in 29 minutes. I'm going to see if I can make them quicker. But you have like intentional focus. Like there's a goal I'm trying to accomplish. If I'm missing a bunch of threes, I might just stop that goal. I might just go, hold on, it's not working for me. I'm going to go shoot, but I'm going to think about like, what's wrong? What's wrong with my shot? How am I missing? Whatever. Yes, if you have a coach that can teach you those things and fix those things for you, that's ideal, but you're probably not here watching this video and asking questions, right? Also, as we just saw, there's one guy that has 70,000 subscribers, another guy that has like 500,000 subscribers. Both of them gave opposite advice for how you should become a better shooter, right? So even if you have a coach, like they could just be telling you bullshit. They could be telling you the opposite of what you really need to be working on. So yeah, that's why hopefully you get from my videos, I'm not trying to tell you what will make you a better shooter. I'm trying to tell you like how to think, how to learn, and how to apply things yourself. That's the real skill that's going to hold a lot of you guys back. Because if you already had access to really high level coaches that could fix those things for you, if you had NBA parents that could fix those things for you, you wouldn't be here watching these videos, asking these questions, right?